Oh no! Oh, you ruined it already. Look, you
How
took
did I
like a
ruin it?
pause. There was like a pause right there.
I
You
am
gotta.
doing this introduction, not
Yeah.
you. You can't interrupt me
I didn't interrupt you. I just started talking when it hit 0, and you just waited like an extra couple
because
seconds.
I know we're going to have the theme song. And now I get to be like, hi, welcome to Mindless Prattle. I'm your
Oh,
host, Ripley Shane.
you wanted that like blank section in there. I see. You wanted people to just be like, "Did it really start? Did it not start? We don't know."
No, there's always like a little second. Like you can't just be like, hello, I'm here. You got to like give people a second to adjust to the change.
This is why most of the other episodes I just started recording without you noticing. So we're like mid conversation as it fades out from the music. So there's no like awkward pause in the middle of like the music stops and then it's just, and then it starts again. You know, like it's that's why but this time with this new software, it gives you a countdown, and I think it's tripping you up.
Okay. How about we start with, do you have any complaints this week? I got a complaint
Complaints?
this week. I want to start with complaints.
Did you do the intro? I must have missed it. I was ranting.
I said, hello and welcome to Mindless Prattle. I'm your host, Ripley Shane, and then you get to introduce yourself.
Oh,
this is my co-host.
You don't even know who I am. That's so mean. What do you want, little girl? That's great.
I guess we could start with the cat.
Yeah. So I have to take off for a while, so I won't be here anymore, which will hopefully take some of our microphone problems and recording problems away, is what we're looking forward to. But because of that, Ripley would be all sad times, no fun times. You know, and I didn't want her just sitting around. That's exactly the way
I described it. I'm going to be all sad times, babe.
I didn't want you just sitting around like masturbating all day, so we went out and we got a cat. And are you angry right now? The little blue guy behind you is angry. I'm just making sure.
Not angry. That's just my upset, stressed one side.
Upset. Okay, it has two emotions: upset or not upset, and you can't be like in between.
It's
But so anyway, we did get a cat. Her name is Chipmunk.
Chipmunk.
She's a year and a half years old. Yep, she's a year and a half. That's how long she's been.
Her birthday's
living.
in May.
Her birthday is in May, and you'll see her probably in the background jumping around, exploring stuff. We only got her like 3 days ago, so she's still exploring things. But she is super cuddly. We had to trim her nails this morning. That was a whole thing because
it was an experience. It made me so upset.
Yeah, well, because the previous owners, when we got her from the shelter was like, yeah, the previous owners noted that they've never tried to trim her nails, so they don't know how she'll react. And we were like, cool, well, we'll see. And she had
claws.
And we got her home, and she was jumping on things, and when she climbed on top of us, like, I was bleeding, and I was like, not so much. So we had to trim her nails this morning, and she didn't seem too bad about it. Ripley was freaking out more than the cat was. That's all I'm saying. Like, you kept putting it down and being like, ooh, I don't want to touch her. I'm so scared. And I'm like, girl,
because
just cut
the
her
video
nails.
we watched said to clip one nail at a time to get them used to it if they haven't had it happen before. So
sure,
I thought we were going to do
that's for like normal
cats.
All right. This is my cat. She is prepared for things.
Apparently. She like, opened right up to us. She was super warm and cuddly.
I was holding her there while you were cutting, and she was literally just sitting there purring. She wasn't enjoying you like botching her fingernails up, but she was okay with it.
It made the crunchiest sound when I cut them, and I just felt so nervous.
Yeah, it made a fingernail cutting sound. How terrible.
I've never clipped an animal's nails before. Like with our dogs, we always took them to get groomed, you know?
Right.
But, you know, she's having much easier time. I'm wondering if it's going to help her with her gracefulness problem. You can't turn around and talk.
You can do one or the other.
Oh, I'm wondering if it's gonna help with her gracefulness, because we've noticed she's a pretty clumsy cat. She
trips over herself a lot. I don't think she's had a lot of room to jump and play around. They said that she came from a home with a lot of other cats, and so she just didn't do a whole lot. But now when she's here, you know, by herself, she just runs and jumps around and does a whole bunch of whatever she wants. So we think she'll be good. They told us to keep her in like one room for like 3 or 4 days until she got used to us, and then let her out into like the rest of the apartment. And then the first night we got her back, she was literally like running around, like running into us, letting us pet her. And she was like,
I woke up, she was cuddled around his head.
We kept leaving the bedroom. Yeah, she slept on me like the whole night. We kept leaving the bedroom, go to the bathroom and stuff. And every time we did, she would run over and like try and paw at the door to get out. And we're like, I think she's ready to go out. Like, I don't think she needs to stay in here for a few days. So I let her out the following morning. And she literally just walked around the apartment for like 2 or 3 hours while I sat down on the couch and just like played video games and stuff. And she finally, after like 2 or 3 hours, I moved like a couple of her things from the bedroom out here, and she just mellowed out and just sat on the couch with me for like 3 hours. And I was like, cool, you're good now. And then Ripley showed up and she got all anxious again.
This is random, but I just realized I should make a Twitch panel for our podcast.
A Twitch panel? I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like on my Twitch channel, like I could have a panel for our podcast.
Oh, yeah. Or put it in your, what is that? You have like a bot that like puts out random messages in your chat, doesn't it?
Yeah, I use a bot, I think Nightbot. So I could also have a thing saying, hey, if you like this and want more content, check out my podcast.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to stream today.
I got an email this morning from, the podcast got an email this morning. And it was from somebody. And they said, hey, I found your podcast on Apple Podcasts. And I'm a fellow podcaster. I wanted to reach out and connect. And I was like, oh, okay. Like someone wants to reach out and connect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing, it was like, why don't you join this service and you can meet other podcasters? And I was like, you had me in the first half, but no.
I can do that on Discord.
And I was like, I can meet other podcasters. Thank you. I was like, ooh. It was literally just like a recruiting thing. I'm like, all right, well, so close, but no.
I actually, if you don't mind me talking about another podcast on here, my friend Dina has her own true crime podcast called The Grim Curriculum. Well, it's not true crime. It's like about anything creepy, spooky. So, I mean, maybe they'd be interested. If you guys like that sort of thing, go check out their podcast. We're no way affiliated with them or anything like that, but she's pretty cool. And I made friends with her on Twitch a while ago.
I mean, if you're friends with her, then you are affiliated with her.
She's a much bigger streamer now. Like she has YouTube and everything like that. I met her when she first started streaming, and she like came into my chat and asked me a bunch of questions about streaming and stuff. And she's really big now. She's awesome.
What did you say the name of it was? Grim something?
The Grim Curriculum.
Grim Curriculum. Okay.
Yeah, they post some pretty cool things. She co-hosts it with one of her friends. She's Canadian. I have a lot of Canadian friends from Twitch.
I'm sold. Canada's in.
I don't know why. I have so many Canadian viewers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Love Canada.
Yeah. Man,
I hear it's cold there.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but like we record these, usually on Fridays or Saturdays and then put them out on Sundays. And I don't know what it is, but like we'll start like a recording, a little test recording. We'll have like some issues with the microphone or the camera or something. We'll get it all fixed and figured out. Then we record. We don't do anything for like a week. Then we come back and it's like, oh, you have a different microphone problem now. And we're like, how? We didn't change like any settings in between. Like we didn't do anything. I'm like,
we still keep having like random bad luck.
Yeah, every once in a while we do have random bad luck, but it's fine. Whatever. I don't care enough.
But I did say I wanted to start with complaints. We can both complain about just one thing if you want. It could be more. But I do want to complain about a customer. You have a lot of things
to complain about.
No, I have one specific thing to complain about. This conversation I had with a customer yesterday.
Sure.
And I've said before, like, I don't mind my job. Like, I genuinely enjoy helping people. Like, I like talking to people because, I don't socialize a ton outside of the apartment. So it's nice to go to work and have conversations with people. But this man yesterday, I was checking him out. And recently we got a tip credit card tipping, So I'm checking him out, and he's an old man, right? Like he's like hobbled over, can barely hear, talking like just going on. And I'm like, okay. And he orders, and I'm chatting, being friendly, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, so it's going to ask you, he's putting a credit card in. I'm like, it's going to ask you if you want to tip, and then it'll go to the next screen. And that's all I say. I never say, oh, you have to tip. Like, there you go. I just say, it's going to ask if you want to do that. And then move on to the pay screen.
Right.
And then he's like, no. I usually do tip, but you guys don't do that much.
Don't do that much like work or like...
Yeah.
I would have just
everyone
given
in my
him a bottle
store
of
was
syrup
looking at us. there was a customer behind him too, like who kept making eye contact with me and was like, am I hearing this shit?
I'm telling you, man, this is where that patsy position, it comes into play. Because if I was in there and he goes, you guys don't do much, I'd be like, okay. And I would go get a cup and I just put some coffee beans in it and give it to him. But like, here you go. You can do the rest. We don't do that much anyway. Like, fuck you, bud.
He was getting like a Frappuccino too, which is probably one of the beverages, one of the most steps that we have to make, like
right.
And then I was like, okay, so you can just say no, thank you. And then he was like, how do I press no? Where is no? And I was like, it's right there at the bottom. He goes, it's right there at the bottom. And after he left, everybody in the lobby and behind the bar, we were all talking about it. And we were like, how's this man going to tell us that we don't do enough for him to tip us when he can't even figure out how to press no on a screen?
Jeez, you don't do enough. Now help me out, you son of a gun. Like, all right,
yeah,
calm down.
I was like, I don't care if you tip or not, but don't like have a conversation with me about how I'm not deserving of it. Because one, I was super friendly and we were having a really pleasant conversation before that. So you're saying that my emotional labor is worth nothing to you. And then my team works their asses off. Like they really do. And he got this Frappuccino and it was perfectly made. And I get the drinks are expensive and shit, but just say no. You don't have to tell me your personal beliefs about it.
Were you saying that their prices just went up again or something?
They're changing like the rewards program. So like, and prices go up like every quarter. So, but they're changing the program so you earn less rewards, like with more money.
Like it's harder to get points or something.
Yeah. Like and they made new tiers for everything. So it's like drinks were like 150 points or whatever. And now they're going to be like 200.
I don't know how their point system works. Is it for like $1 you get $1 or a point, or like
it's what some people get like a point per dollar. If you're like a rewards member, you get more. If you have a credit card, you get more. Like,
yeah.
Since I work there, I get free drinks or whatever all the time, so it doesn't bother me.
Gotcha.
Do you have a complaint or no?
I do have a complaint. It's related to restaurants.
Okay.
It's about McDonald's, and I had a different complaint, but this one's more important. I just remembered. I just remembered based off of your story and the rewards thing. Okay, like we like McDonald's a lot. We go there probably like once a week.
At least once a week.
It's usually like once a week because it's usually like we're lazy. It's the closest thing, and it's not super expensive. And the reason
it's not Taco Bell.
And it's not Taco Bell. And the reason it's not like super expensive, we use their app, and they have like generally good deals on there. It's like we usually get like 2 double cheeseburgers and like a large fry or 2 large fries or something, and it ends up costing us like $7 for both of us or whatever it is. Like we usually don't spend too much on it, but because we go there so much, and we've liked them for a while, my family and they keep giving us McDonald's gift cards, which is great. Like I love, like awesome. Except the only problem is you can't use McDonald's gift cards on their app. You have to use them, just in person or like at the store or whatever. And so like it doubles the price of everything. And I feel like I'm like we're just wasting their my family's money or whoever gives us gift cards money, because like the same meal that we get for $7, we're now spending 14 on with the gift card. And I'm like, sure, it's the gift card. That's what it's used for. But like, I would definitely go more often if I could use a gift card on their app. Plus, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why can you not have a balance on your app? Like, you can use your app to pay for it and just scan it at the restaurant, but you can't put like points or anything on your app. You can't use a gift card on their app. And it's so dumb. I think that is the worst decision. Like, why can you not put a gift card on their app?
I agree.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, do you want me just to spend more money in person? Like, that's the only argument I can think of is they want you to not spend the gift cards on those deals because they would not make as much profit. Like even using using those deals, they still make profit. They just don't make as much as they want to.
Well, no, because with the deals, we're just paying how much it used to cost, and like
right.
Some operating costs of businesses have gone up because of COVID. Like the shipping in every company is so fucked up right now. But in general, like in other countries, it costs like the same like a Big Mac is cheaper in like every other company. Country, I can't talk.
Every other company. Every company has
in
Big
other
Macs
countries, a Big Mac is cheaper than it is in America, and they pay their employees more and give them more benefits.
Yeah.
So it's weird to me.
Was it Burger King or McDonald's that like lost their right to trademark one of their words in like Europe? Like the trademark for it was either Whopper or Big Mac, something like that. Like the trademark for it expired, and when they went to renew
it was Whopper.
They got it. It said that they were denied their like renewal on the trademark. So like other companies were just like shitting on them. They were just like, "Have you tried the terrible Whopper? Now come try our great burger." You know, it was just like it was like you just took advantage of that completely. It was so funny though.
I think it was Whopper though. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I just started playing Modern Warfare 2 just to like relax more this week. Is it
relaxing?
I mean, I usually relax with Call of Duty, especially when I had a cat on my lap most of the day. Like
purring in her lap because she loves me.
Yeah, but is she on your lap?
No, it's a Taylor Swift lyric.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Taylor
she's
Swift
on your
really
lap.
likes cats. It's her special interest. The community jokes about it because she can literally list like 100 breed of cats in a minute. And she writes about her cats in her songs and puts them in her music videos.
She can list 100 breeds of cat.
Her cats are named after Olivia Benson and Meredith Grey, I think. And then I think she has a new one too. But I don't keep up with her as much as like some fans do. I just
right. Sure.
Why? I'm so excited.
I don't keep up with her. I just know that she has 3 cats and she just got a new one and she can name 100 cats just off the top of her head. Like, okay.
I saw it on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, thank goodness.
Or was it the Tonight Show? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh. She's dying over there.
I choked on my own spit. And I forgot to grab my water cup from the bedroom.
It's fine. I muted you for a second. It's fine. Do you want to go grab it? Like you don't have water. You were so underprepared for this episode. That was amazing. Oh man. She watched that little video clip. She looked away, looked back, and like just couldn't handle it. I can hear Chipmunk talking in the other room. Oh man, that was amazing. She's back now. She brought a cat with her too. I can't hear you at all. I don't think you're talking into the mic.
Muted myself.
Oh my gosh. What do you Oh boy. Are you trying to get her like into the chair? What are you doing right now? What?
I want to show the podcast our cat.
Well, you're gonna have to pick her up. She doesn't like jumping in laps right now. Also, she was in the background earlier. I don't know if you saw her. I told you you're gonna pick her up.
This is our kitty. Hi, kitty.
Yeah, it's Chipmunk.
She sees herself.
I'm sure. She was at like trying to kill her own reflection in the sliding glass door earlier too. She looks so distraught right now. Look at her claws just coming out like, oh shit, I'm trying to get them.
Caitlin said her cat puts his claws out anytime she takes a picture. He goes.
That's funny.
Thank you.
She was not happy with the collar yesterday either. We put the collar on her and she was freaking out for like a good 5 minutes. So finally I just started throwing toys around to her and she forgot about the collar. And I was like, good.
She really likes it when you like scratch her neck under there.
Yeah.
God, my hair looks so rough on this camera today.
That's why I covered my hair. Look, this beautiful mess up here. I'm just like, hat. That's what hats were made for, right?
What were hats made for? Like, who invented that hat? Gotta look this up now.
People who worked in the sun all day. I'm pretty sure big sun hats were the first hats. You're looking up who made the first hat? Who made the first hat? I saw this question the other day. It's a would you rather question.
What was it?
And I know which one I would choose, but I was wondering which one you would choose. So would you rather know how you're going to die or know when you're going to die?
I don't want to know either.
No, you got to pick. You need to know either you have to find out right now when you're going to die or how you're going to die.
Sorry.
You got to answer.
I will answer. I looked up who invented cats instead of who invented hats.
Your mind works in amazing ways. Oh my gosh.
I guess I'd want to know when I die. Because, I mean, both, I don't want to know either, frankly. Like I said, I don't
too
wanna
bad.
know.
You're knowing.
But I feel like knowing when would be better because then I'd be like, okay, cool. If I know how I'm going to die, though, that would affect my entire life. Like, I would be like avoiding, if it was like, oh, you're going to die in a car accident, be like, okay, I'm never going to drive again. And then you get smashed by a car randomly through a building. Or something.
Right. That was the thing that I said too. And I was like, I would rather know when. Because, like, at least with when, they'd be like, you die at this time on this day. I'd be like, cool, I will spend all my money right up until that day, you know? But, like, and you.
Like, I can plan my retirement better.
Right. But, like, knowing how you're going to die, that's so much worse. Because they're just like, oh, you're going to fall down some stairs. Well, fuck, I'm going to avoid stairs for the rest of my life. But then, like, randomly, you're going to get pushed down like an alleyway and like fall down some stairs or some shit. Like, it's going to be way worse because you'll try to avoid that specific thing for as long as possible. But you'll never know when, like, stairs are going to kill you. Or they're just like, oh, you're going to, like, trip and fall down and hit your head. And you're like, well, fuck. And you're just like, well, fuck, I guess I'll just never... I guess I'll just never walk again. Like, I don't know. You know, it's very, I'm like, I can't avoid shit like that. All right. So who invented hats? Tell us.
Ancient Egypt. Some of the most...
Egypt always has the fucking inventions.
But, ancient Egypt, some of the most common and earliest depiction of hats were from Thebes in 3200 BCE. As many upper-class Egyptians maintained shaved heads, headdresses were worn to keep them cool.
Is a headdress the same as a hat? I feel like there's a difference there, right?
I guess people think like, oh god, it's so fun having a cat. Also, I've just had this like really bad pain in my stomach, and I'm like, is it dairy? Is it drinking cinnamon? I don't know what's going on.
I'm looking up headdresses versus hats. That's what I'm finding.
Like that spot, kitty? Found like the back part of my desk.
She found what?
You don't need to be messing with that. She's like on the mesh part of my desk, you know? Oh, my package was just delivered.
See, it says headdresses are elaborate ornamental or practical coverings for the head, but differentiated from the hat, which has a crown and includes many varieties, such as the hairnet, headband, head wrap, wreath, or chaplet, mantilla, turban, crown, or others. I don't know. I feel like there's an overlap in headdresses and hats. What this question is, people also ask, what are headdresses called? And the answer is war bonnets.
Head wraps.
Or head wraps, or like there's so many different. What are the two types of headgears? All right, this is fun. Look, it says, what are the two types of headgears? And then the answer is basically there are three types of headgear. Thank you. Does headgear still exist? No, we got rid of it. It's extinct. I saw the other day that the golden grizzly bears, you know, the grizzly bear that's on the California state flag.
Oh, yeah.
There are no more in California, and they were believed to be extinct or nearly extinct until a farmer in, I forget the mountain range, but it's a mountain range just south of California in Mexico. A farmer reported that his cattle have been getting killed, and the markings appear to be bear markings. And these bears are, I think they're like almost 1,000 miles from where they used to be found. But they're like, if these are but the claw markings and the sightings reported are showing that there's around 6 to 7 of these golden grizzly bears down in Mexico. And people are like, really? Maybe we should protect these things.
That's amazing. That's great news.
Maybe we should. I just see a flash of tail going across your screen. Yeah. Is she on your desk?
I felt like she couldn't figure out how to get down, like over here.
You can't keep talking and looking away. You are terrible at that. You do it every week.
She'd put her head over here.
Then go like this. No
And
one
then
can
I feel
hear
like she
you.
was trying to get down, but like there's no space to get down over here, or she's too clumsy to get down over here. And now she's just exploring my desk.
Mhm. I think these questions on here are interesting because it's on Google and it's just like questions like people also ask, but they're not related. So like, what are headdresses called? War bonnets, but that's a picture of like a Native American like feathered war bonnet, like
Mm-hmm.
headdress, right? And then there's down there, what are the two types of headgears? There are three types of headgears used in construction. Like that's what it says. And then underneath that, it said, when did people stop wearing headgear? And the answer is boxing, June 2013. And I'm like, none of these are related. Who is asking all these questions back to back? Like, I don't understand this. And then why are hats not worn anymore? One of the biggest reasons for loss of hat wearing is likely to how we go. Yeah, that's dumb. We're just inside more. I already knew that. Why would we search for that?
I feel like she's gonna attack my pride flag.
What is a headwear? What is headwear? Coverings for the head, namely hats. What are you doing? Just let her explore. She ain't doing anything. I will say she's not a destructive cat, which is nice because we have like wires and computers, wires and things everywhere. But so far, she just likes to lay on wires and not chew them. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, she sniffs a lot, but that's about it.
She likes to get in the fireplace too. I don't know if you can see that, like right down there. She keeps jumping in the fireplace, and I'm worried she's gonna come out and just be like a different color. And I'm like, well, whatever.
Well, it's not like we use it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's been forever since we. That was another thing. Our lease says no open flames, and then there's a fireplace here. I'm like, why have you not just renovated and got rid of the fucking fireplace? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, no open flames except for the ones that we want you to have.
Right. Hey, Chipmunk.
We totally don't have any candles.
No, the candles are never lit. All right. You can tell because they're not on fire.
I like those would you rather questions. Let's do more of those.
You want another one? I can pull up some more. No, this one's good for you because you're already living one of these, actually. Would you rather get stuck at all red lights in traffic for the rest of your life or have incredibly slow internet after it gets dark out?
Why are those the options? Oh, God, I hate making choices.
You asked for these. What do you mean?
I guess red lights.
You do the red lights? I was going to choose red lights as well. We're on the same wavelength on these so far. And I think it's because, especially in winter, like it gets dark at like 5 o'clock and it doesn't get light again until like 8 the next morning. So like that's most of the day you'd have incredibly slow internet. And I don't think I could deal with that.
I could not deal with slow internet. It already drives me crazy the way it is. I like this one. I don't know if I can choose one from this one, but would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts or for everyone you know to have access to your internet history?
Fucking internet history. What? That's easy. Wow. My thoughts are more private than the internet history. What are you talking about?
Every time I get upset, I Google whatever I'm upset about.
Your internet history is fascinating. We've done this. I've done this a couple of times. I don't know if you knew, but like every once in a while, I'll just look at your phone, and you have like 100 tabs open in your internet browser, like all the time. And I will just
now I have like 6 adoption tabs open.
See, right, like that's what I'm saying. I'll just scroll through them and just see what random questions are on there. Like there are some questions that I needed to ask you like a while back. You were with like I don't do it in secret. Like I do it with you there. It's more fun that way. Like I'll look through and some of the questions and I'm just like, why would you ask this? And you're like, well, I had a fleeting curiosity. And I'm like, seems concerning that you were curious about why does toe fungus appear yellow, but like sure, like like why would you need to ask?
I had an issue with my toenail and so I kept looking up like what it was, and it wasn't fungus or anything.
Wait, did you really look that up? I just made that shit up.
No, not toe fungus, but I've like looked up things about my fingernail. I get paranoid too. Like I'll get really paranoid and be like, if what does this mean if I pee and it's this color, like stuff like that. Or like even like my porn history, I'm like, I don't want anybody to see that. Like
porn history.
I don't watch a lot of porn, but when I do, like I don't want people to see it. And then my thoughts though, I am mentally ill.
Yes.
I have very many intrusive thoughts, and I like nobody needs like a lot of my most common intrusive thought is like, what if I just stab myself in the eye with these scissors? Any pointy sharp object, I look at it, I'm like, what if I stab myself in the eye with that?
I know. Like I held up a bottle, like a glass bottle yesterday, and you physically were just like, no. And I was like, what are you doing? You're like, I don't want you to hit me with that. I'm like, why would I hit you with a giant glass bottle?
I literally
I'm
told him
it. Like, what are you talking
I literally told him, I was like, I know you're not going to, but what if you do? Like, that's the kind of shit I think about where I'm like, I know this will never happen. Like one time I remember I was at a park. I was like 19, 20 maybe, but I went to a park with these kids I nannied. And they had this really tall, climby structure, like one of those rope things, you know, where it's like all random paths and shit that of just rope you can climb. And I got to the top and I was like, what if this entire thing just collapsed right now? Generalized anxiety.
I used to do that with like high places and things. I'd be like, this should fall, and I'm just gonna die right about now. But I don't know when it was, but I got over it at some point. Now I'm just like, skydiving seems fun. You know, like the ultimate falling thing.
I do not want to go skydiving. You talk about it, and I just
no. You said you wouldn't go bungee jumping. Skydiving is very different. Okay, you're not attached to anything.
I would do
you're falling
skydiving.
towards the earth.
I would do skydiving attached to somebody else, but I hate falling. I literally hate it so fucking much.
Your first skydiving is you're always required to go in tandem with an instructor. Like you're required to go with someone the first time.
Even talking about this, my heart is racing.
I think after that you can like elect to go by yourself, but that first time I think it's required you go with someone.
Well, they don't want you to kill yourself.
Right, that too. And they're like, you don't know which cord to pull, so.
Do you think there are people that do that? Like they do stuff like bungee jumping or like
who commit suicide by jumping off of high things? Yes, I do. I think they're called jumpers.
Do you think they like? Well, no, but do you think they like later people? No, I don't. Like trigger warning here to anybody listening. If this bothers you, like
she's
skip
up
this
on the counter
section or whatever.
You, like, she's trying to jump up on top of the cabinets. It's going to be interesting if she gets up there, though. It'll be funny. She listens very well. She's a good cat.
She listens very well. She understands no. But yeah, no, like, do you think there are people who book like sessions for like, what was it? Parachuting? What is that called again? What would you just call it? You jump from the plane?
Yeah, jumpy, fall.
But yeah, so when you do a parachute fall from a plane, do you think they do the second one? Like they do the first one, the instructor, with the intention of doing the second one and just not pulling their chute?
I mean, I'm sure there's been at least someone, right?
That's so sad. I hope everyone's doing okay after the holidays. I talk a lot about mental health and stuff because my degree is in psychology and my mental health's not always awesome. So I talk about it a lot, but the holidays are really hard on people. I'm happy they are over. They were very stressful for me too, but make sure you guys are feeding and watering yourselves, socialize, take care of yourself, read a book, play a video game, do something that makes you happy, go for a walk.
Like you were saying that you were like afraid of
what?
You're saying that you were afraid of skydiving, right? First of all, good for Google because I looked up suicide by skydiving and it just gave me the number of a helpline, and I was like, that wasn't the right question to ask. So then I looked up, have anyone committed suicide by skydiving? Like, good on you, Google.
You're doing key search terms. Google's like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, look, I do it for work all the time. I have to shorten searches. I don't have time for like the whole sentence that I'm looking for. But like, yeah, it's this report says suicides may be greatly underreported in skydiving, but it doesn't give me like a number or anything.
I've only heard of like tragic accidents, like where somebody went skydiving in Nevada and like landed in the wrong place on the highway and got hit by a truck. Sorry for that information.
No, you're fine. They're trying to like hide these numbers. I don't know. Hold on. 0.28 fatality per 20. What does that mean? I don't.
Like you lost a leg, but not your life? Or what?
It says that in 2021, there were 0.28 fatalities per 100,000 jumps. That's not 28%. That's I just need a number.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm not great at math, but what?
I don't know, but the key factor here is the number has been going down since what since 1981. In 1981, it was 3.72 deaths per 100,000. Now it's 0.28, so it is much safer now.
Yeah, I guess if they probably started enacting a lot more strict procedures, so it wouldn't happen as often.
Right.
I wonder if they give you like a mental health thing before you go and diving or something.
Okay, so in 2019, the skydiving fatalities in the United States was 15 out of 3.3 million jumps. So
that's not
15
bad.
people
that's
died.
Pretty safe.
Yeah.
Sucks for those 15 people.
I don't know why.
Oh my God. Sorry, I got so loud you could hear me echo. But do you remember that story? The video you showed me a little while ago, where that girl and her friends were going like bungee jumping or whatever, and she just shoved her off the bridge.
Oh, you talking about the girl who got in trouble for pushing? No, they weren't bungee jumping. They were base jumping into a river. But the girl pushed her friend off the bridge, and she like broke her ankle or something. Yeah, if
you guys haven't seen that video, it was horrifying. Like she just pushes her, and you can just see the view as this girl's like fucking plummeting. I think her friend went to prison or something, or like
her friend got sentenced to jail for the same amount of time that her friend the friend that got pushed was in the hospital. So she was only in jail for like 2.5 days. It's not she wasn't
shut up lightly.
Yeah, she wasn't in jail for anything. Like this, all the headlines are like, she got jailed for pushing her friend. She got in jail for 2.5 days because her friend was in the hospital for 2.5 days. That's what she got.
Could you imagine if her friend had died because of that? Like,
I saw a reaction video to it too, like the sentencing. That when they sentence her to jail for 2.5 days or for equal amount of time as the hospital stay, however they worded it, she was like bawling and like crying, and somebody reacted and they're like, 2 days in jail? Like, it's not even prison. You going to jail for 2 days. Calm the fuck down.
Was she white?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, that is the definition of white privilege right there.
I'm like, 2 days in jail is a very light sentence for pushing someone off a bridge that they potentially, they were in like swimsuits. Like I think they were planning on jumping off anyway, but because she pushed her off and she got injured, it was her fault. Like the injury was.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be friends with that girl again. Man, she's very lucky if I didn't die. Like, I remember this one story that I've remembered since I was in middle school. And this woman, I think she still gives like education and stuff about this, but basically she was going to get married and she and her friends were like swimming, and one of her bridesmaids pushed her into the pool and she like fell wrong, and now she's paraplegic. Just like a week, I think, before her wedding, she became paraplegic just because she got pushed into a pool the wrong way. Like, shit's dangerous, and you should really be careful with the way you touch other people, or like, especially in situations where they could easily become injured, like pools, rivers, and shit. Like, that's dangerous. But I worry about
hitting water from high places. Yeah, well, I'm looking at this, and it's saying not about the thing. I'm still trying to find the like skydiving numbers, and most of what I'm finding is just like it's underreported because it's hard to prove if they committed suicide or if their equipment just failed. Because like if there's clear like cuts on the parachute, then you can be like, someone either sabotaged the parachute so that they would so it wouldn't work, or they committed suicide. But unless they left a note saying that they were like going to commit suicide, it's very hard to prove that committing suicide by skydiving is a thing. Because like again, if you hit the ground at that speed, it's very hard to like prove that the equipment failed. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
okay, I think we should move on to a different subject.
Whatever. Would you rather fart every time you meet someone new or burp every time you kiss someone?
Fart.
You want to fart?
I'll be farting at work all day. I don't want to burp every time I kiss you.
Every new person that comes in, you're gonna have to fart in their face. That'd be amazing. Yep. You'd have to like stop working the counter. Like your team would just look at you and be like, "You need to go in the back and do manager things. Like you need to leave, ma'am." Imagine every interview you have. I would simply quit my
job and stay home.
Every interview you have, you would go into that interview and be like, "Hi, nice to." I think that'd be amazing. I think you'd have to get like a doctor or something. and just give them what's up.
I just found an interesting one.
Okay, I think you'd have to give them like a doctor's note or something, like a like in the Joker where you had that little card that said like, "Hi, I can't stop laughing" or whatever. I think you'd have to give that card to people before you meet them, or like send them an email and be like, "Hey, just so you know, in your interview, wear a gas mask. It's gonna be better for both of us."
Or I could make a suit like that guy from One Piece.
What, a fart suit? You just sit inside your fart suit?
Yeah, like the guy with the tummy problems.
Mm-hmm. You just like, what's that guy? What's she doing? Like, oh, she lives in a hazmat suit.
It's for your own protection.
Right.
I found this one.
Yeah,
Would you rather die before or after your partner?
No, before or after you?
Mm-hmm.
After.
Why after?
Would you like to die before me or after me?
Before you.
Exactly. I'm looking out for you in this instance. All right, you're welcome.
I don't think I could emotionally. I don't know. I've never had somebody super close to me die like that. Like I've had a few friends die, and I've had like distant family members. The closest person to me who's died was my grandfather when I was 10. Like,
yeah,
you best not be dying. That's all I'm saying.
Like if I'm looking out for me, I'll go first. Have fun. See, like, peace out. I'm gone. But like, I think you would be following quickly after.
No,
I'm just saying.
I wouldn't like end my life if you died. I don't think, but you know,
I don't see. That's the key right there. Is you said I don't think. You don't know though.
I think I'd be like,
I don't think I would like do catatonic. That, probably, maybe.
You know, like I can't even think about it. Is kind of how it is. Like I can't think about. I used to be that kid. I don't know. Like I've always been really serious and anxiety prone. Like I used to think about my parents and my sister dying, and I would just like lay in bed at night sobbing. And sometimes I do that too. Like the other day, I told you I came home in tears because I just kept picturing you. Like I was like, what if I come home and he's dead? He hasn't texted me in a long time. Like,
oh my
gosh,
just
like cleaning and doing the dishes.
That was a whole day. I was like cleaning. First of all, I didn't charge my phone the night before, so it was like at 12% when I was up and doing stuff. So I just put it on my charger at my desk, and I turned on the sound so I could hear it. But then I went and cleaned, and it did dishes, and I had a bunch of like stuff to fix around the apartment before I head out. And she got home, I don't know, like around like 3 or something like that, and she's like. And I came over, and she had like a bunch of stuff in her hands. And so I just started putting down her stuff because she looked really sad. And you looked so sad that while I was putting down your stuff, you started crying. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I thought you were dead. And I'm like, what? Did you try calling me? And you're like, no. And I'm like, why did you think I was dead? It takes a
strong person to date someone with this much anxiety. I'll say that. Like,
yeah. I was like, why did you think I was dead? And she's like, you didn't text me back for like 3 hours. And I'm like, oh no, I was like, I'm busy cleaning and doing dishes and stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And it's like, we go a lot of times without texting each other, actually. Like, if you look through our messages, it's usually like 4 or 5 a day. Like, if I'm working, you know, we'll be like, good morning.
There were a lot yesterday just because I was sending you a lot of pictures of the cat, and I was trying to make you jealous. Yeah. It worked, so it's fine.
It did work. I was so upset. I kept showing everybody work. I was like, I want to go home to a cat.
Yeah, that was funny. Do you remember when we were in San Antonio and you had to go to the bathroom in that public bathroom?
Yes.
And do you remember how...
Did we talk about that on here?
No, we haven't.
Okay. Let me tell the story first.
You should give that story first because I got a question related to that. So go ahead.
So we're in San Antonio and we had to use the restroom and we could not find a bathroom anywhere. And so finally we asked somebody if they know where the closest one is, and we find it. And it's literally like a giant circular metal box in the middle of a busy intersection. Like that's the bathroom. And I was wearing like black flats. If you don't know what those are, they're just like kind of like ballet slippers. They're very thin, just like walking chill shoes. Like they can be cute, they could be fancy or not, but they're just good for like walking and stuff. I went to the bathroom and there was piss all over the floor. I literally threw my shoes away when we got home. Like I rinsed them off after that in some water, but like it was everywhere. I didn't even sit. It was so gross on there. I was like not even squatting, but like up on my like tiptoes, like holding the arm bar, trying to keep my feet out of the piss and then also not touch the toilet seat. Like there's some acrobatics going on so I could pee in there. And then we came out and there was this like, homeless man, I assume, like drunk and like talking to us about like, I don't even remember the conversation. It was so like insane. I was like, okay,
I'll tell you what
like,
he said.
He just kept going.
I'll tell you what he said.
I was trying to get away.
I was talking with him while you were in the bathroom. So a couple key things. One, there was no place to wash your hands when you left. There was like a hose spigot outside, but there's no soap or anything, and it was just like cold water. And you're like, I assume we were near the river. I assume it's just river water that they pump up, and you just like rinse your hands or something. I don't know. So you went in there, and before, by the way, like nobody forced her to go in there. She just really had to pee. We walked up to it. I had to pee
so bad.
We walked up to it, and I said, "Do you want to go in here? Because we can find like another restroom to go to." And she's like, "No, I had to pee so bad." I'm like, "All right."
Like I was literally gonna piss myself.
She went in there. I went over to like the railing where this guy was sitting, and it was also, I think it was in the shade. Is another. I just went over and sat down, and this guy goes, "Oh, she's coming out of there." He said, "She's coming out of there different." I'm like, "What are you talking about? She's coming out different." And he goes, "Oh, you just watch her face when she comes out of there." And I was like, Did you make a mess in there? Like he said, "Did you make a mess in there?" He goes, "Wasn't me." I was like, "I don't
naturally
believe that, sir, but okay." He had like and
the smell. Oh my God, I could not.
He had the
remember
classic
the smell.
Paper bag, like wrapped around an open bottle, and I was like, "Okay, all right, sir." And meanwhile, I was drinking too, so I had like a Bud Light or something, and so I was just drinking there, talking with him, and we heard the toilet flush, and he's like, "Now wash your face." And we saw you come out, and you just you looked so unhappy and just so irritated that you had to go in there. And I was like, "She does look different." And then you came over and you were like, "What's happening? Can we just go?" Like it looked like you were just like trying to avoid eye contact with the bathroom is what it looked like. You're like, "Let's just leave. I don't even want to talk about what happened in there." I'm like, "Okay, whatever."
The smell was so bad. And I tweeted about this actually yesterday. I don't know if everybody is like this, if you're like this. I am so sensitive to smell. So like if I go in a bathroom and there's even a slight whiff of like a poop scent or something from somebody else, like a bad smell, I will start like almost throwing up. Like the other day, this happened to me at work. I was like in the bathroom and I was like, and I will put my t-shirt over my nose and like inhale my own scent so I won't throw up. And I don't know if everybody is that sensitive, but I have issues. And it was not a great time. Like it smelled like hot baking piss and shit in there. It was gross.
My nose is just super itchy today. I don't know what's up.
You're allergic to cats?
Nah, just not enough cocaine. We also, that guy was just, he was sitting there talking to us. And he's like, "Where are you guys from?" And you instinctively said Vegas. Because I think you were still disturbed about the whole bathroom thing. Yeah, you instinctively, he asked where we're from, and I was going to say Austin, and you instinctively said Vegas. And I was like, close, but no. And so then he just went on like a 10-minute tirade about how Vegas is just designed to take all your money. I'm like, yes, they're casinos. That's how they stay open. Like they don't give away money all the time. That's not like how they work.
Hold on 1 second.
And you all right over there? You could talk with the thing, girl. She's like talking in the background to me.
So since we just got the cat, I forgot I wanted to look this up earlier, but I wanted to look up if these are safe around animals. And it says due to the essential oils, the wallflowers from Bath and Body Works.
The Bath and Body Works.
Due to the essential oils in them, they can be toxic to cats.
Yeah, and paint, as you found out. You might want to just go throw that away now if you're not planning on using it, so you don't forget.
No, I guess I'll throw it out.
Unless you just don't want her on your desk, because I guarantee you're going to spill it somewhere. That's what's going to happen.
I just don't want to kill the cat.
All right, but I was talking about that bathroom just because you need to. Hey, what are you doing? Come over.
Petting the cat.
You got like all year to pet the cat. Pay attention.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, what were you saying?
But I brought up that bathroom story because I just saw this would you rather question. It says, would you rather walk barefoot through a public bathroom or walk barefoot through poison ivy? And
poison ivy.
Right. Well, yeah. See, you You said poison ivy. I'm going bathroom. We're different. I've been in agreement with you on all of these except for this one. I'm going bathroom. All right. Some of you, for those of you who don't know, Ripley is immune to poison ivy. It has no effect on her, which is bullshit because I am very allergic to it. And like it's the worst when I get it. Like I have to go
because I knew I wasn't allergic when I was a kid.
I have to go get like to the doctor to get prescribed medicine because the stuff just at the regular fucking counters at the drugstore just don't work. All right. And the way we found this out was just wonderful because I've had poison ivy before. When I was in Kentucky, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Kentucky,
that was bad.
For a month, I was doing some training out there. I didn't get any while I was there. I came back to Vegas at the time. I came back, washed all my clothing, and then the next day all my arms, my hands, my legs, like everything was just covered in poison ivy. And I was like, I need to go see a doctor. Rough. It was bad. Like I was like, I need to go see a doctor like today to get this figured out. And I was like, can I get like a shot to help with this? And they're like, no, that's for extreme cases. And I'm like, it's on all 4 of my limbs and it's moving towards my penis. Can we like do something extreme here? You know? And I was like, I was like, listen here,
like,
bud.
Help me.
Like, what? So anyway, so that was that time. So I know I'm allergic to it. Now, when we moved here, I think I was still doing DoorDash at the time. So I was doing DoorDash. She came back from something. I
went to a volunteer event with my job cleaning up a park.
Yeah, you went to go to like a park cleanup. So you were picking up trash and all that fun stuff. The next day, I was waking up and I was like, man, my arms are really itchy. And she's like, why? I'm like, I have no idea. And so I was looking at it, and then like a day later, the rash came on like both my arms. Like it was all up and down both my arms. And I was like, this is poison ivy. She's like, are you sure? Where'd you get poison ivy from? I said, I don't know. I haven't been outside other than to go into my car. And I said, did you go through the woods when you were doing that park cleanup the other day? And she goes, well, yeah. And I was like, did you wash your clothes when you got home? She's like, no, I came home and I took a nap. And I said, did you sleep on my side of the bed? She goes, well, yeah. And I was like, you gave me poison ivy? Are you serious right now? And she's like, well, I don't have any. I'm like, yes, you're immune to it. Like, what do you?
Well, so before like, that too, when we went up to your mom's one time,
gosh.
And I was wearing like your hoodie, and we were at your mom's.
That was
and
another
we
time
went through
too.
the woods together. And then I was fine because I was like, oh, maybe I'm allergic, and I just never went through it as a kid but I was around it. My stepbrothers got poisoning a lot.
Yeah, we were helping clean up. We were helping clean up the like the back acres on my mom's property, and they have a lot of poison ivy and poison oak. I think they have a lot of. Oh no, it's like pepperthorn is what it is. So they have a lot of poison ivy and pepperthorn out there, and I know what they look like. And every time I went through those woods, I avoided them. I didn't touch any of them. For like 2 days after that, I felt fine. And then I forgot that she was wearing my hoodie while we were out there for long sleeves because out in the woods are pretty thick out there. And I put it on, and then the next day, more poison ivy. And I'm like, did you wash this when we got back? She goes, no. And I said, did you avoid the poison ivy? And she goes, well, what does it look like? And I went, what the? This is not the time to ask this question. The time to ask that question was before we go into the woods. When I say there's poison ivy out there, make sure you avoid it, which I did tell you as we were going out there.
Long story short, I am immune to poison oak and poison ivy, apparently.
Yeah.
So I would walk through a field of poison ivy barefoot before a public restroom because, God, I hate it.
Yeah, I'm going through the bathroom. I will just wash my feet after. Like, I'll just like hose down my feet. I'll cut them off even. I mean, it'd be way better.
I'll cut them off.
You know, I just looked it up. 10 to 15% of the population is immune to tolerable of urushiol, which I guess is the chemical that's in poison ivy and poison.
Which is so funny because I think it's so funny that I'm not allergic to it because I'm allergic to fucking grass. Like if I get in grass, my legs and skin get cut up. Like
like you would go and sit down in a field and your legs are on fire, but like walk through some poisonous plants and you're just like ha ha ha, ha a light breeze. Like
it's like that made a good video game perk. Plus 2 protection from all poisonous plants. -1 from all normal.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Some adults who reacted to poison ivy as children may find that they are now less sensitive. So you just like inoculating yourself. That's true.
Well, when I was a kid, I never reacted to it either.
Right, but my dad, he has a little section on his calf, like his right or left calf, I can't remember, on his calf, that when he was a kid, he got like a really bad poison ivy rash. And now he has like a super mild reaction to it. And I'm like, he got like inoculated to it. That's what happened.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid, my stepbrother, my younger stepbrother, we would play in the woods behind my stepmom's like trailer. And he came back with like a full body rash one day. And we had been like messing all around in the forest and shit. And he and my older stepbrother both were like covered from head to toe in like red, itchy, oozy spots. Like they were scratching at it and shit. And I was completely fine. And my stepmom was pissed. She was like, why did they get this? Not you. And I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, I'm special, chosen by the Lord. I don't.
Now, let's see.
Some of these questions are like rather, oh my gosh, that is loud. Please stop. What are you doing? Or just don't listen and keep typing. Woman, you need to search things on your phone or get a different keyboard because that is ridiculously loud. That was like crazy loud for you. Good
Sorry.
talk.
Okay, I won't do it again. That's why I keep using
you also can't like read and listen at the same time. So anything I just said, you're just like.
No, when I read, it's like I go into hyperfocus.
Yeah, but I was saying like some of these questions are like very interesting, like in-depth questions. I think these would you rather. It's just a list of would you rather questions. Some of these questions are like in depth and interesting, and then you get to this one that's just like, would you rather lose your phone or your keys? You're like, who cares? Just
I lose both every fucking day.
Right, like just go find them. Like, what do you?
The amount of times I have to like play a sound on my phone or watch or something, and Jordan's like, "Are you kidding me? Like again? It's on the bed."
This one's dumb too. Would you rather be rich with no friends or poor and popular? Yo, I'll be rich with no friends. I'll pay you to come hang out.
I already have no friends.
What do you?
I shouldn't say that. I have like a few friends now. They might be offended.
What do you mean you don't have friends? You have like a bunch of friends. But that's what I'm saying. I'll be rich with no friends. Guess what? You don't have to be friendly with me, but I'll give you $100. You come over, hang out. Like,
can you have a significant
just
other?
Saying. What's up?
You could still have me though, right?
Right. It also doesn't say that I can't make friends once I'm rich. So I'm just saying. Would you rather lose all of your teeth or all of your hair? I'm going hair. Yeah, I'm going hair. Because like
I'd look awesome.
I enjoy chewing food too much is the problem. Like,
literally, I've had so many anxiety nightmares about my teeth falling out. It'll be like I think a lot of people get like the broken teeth dream. I get the dreams where like I'm forced to pull out my own teeth.
Is that why you moving a lot in your sleep? That's crazy.
I don't remember what I was dreaming about the past few nights. I've been having night terrors. I can only remember like bits and flashes. But they're always really weird. Like the other night I had a dream and we were like on a spaceship and the alien was there from the Alien series. And like then the cat woke me up because I was like freaking out and the cat woke me up.
I like this one. Would you rather have X-ray vision, but it only works on people you find unattractive, or everyone else has X-ray vision when they look at you?
But then they would just see my bones, right?
Nah.
That's how X-rays work.
We're talking about classic X-ray Superman vision. You just see underneath the clothes. Or, we could go with bones. Either way, I think my answer is the same.
No, my answer is different. Because if it's bones, then everybody can see me. If it's naked, you got to pay to see that shit. So I will see everybody else naked.
Nah, either way, I will just look at people and see their bones or their skin. Doesn't matter. Do you think over time, if you had that ability to see Let's go with the clothes one. Like you can see through clothes, right? But it only works on people you find unattractive. Do you think over time you would see less and less people naked because you would find more people attractive because you saw them naked?
I mean, I guess I don't really experience attraction like I don't see naked bodies go, ooh, I'm attracted to people like that. So I guess
I'm just saying, I think it would. I think you over time you would be like, they could be attractive, or like you don't want to be mean, so you'd be like, they are attractive. So then just their clothes come back.
Like, I think people that experience really like instant physical attraction to like just bodies would, but like I said, I'm not like, ooh, naked body is good.
Would you rather always have to eat chocolate on pizza or never be able to eat chocolate again?
I would be fine never eating chocolate again. I'm not like a huge sweets person, but I think pizza and chocolate together would be good.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying, normally on my period, like I do that. Like I'll not like pizza and chocolate, but I'll have like chocolate and cheese or chocolate and like hot fries or chocolate and like beef jerky together. Like I'm totally fine with the mixing of foods.
I'm fine with the mixing of foods, but I don't want to ruin every pizza ever. Like for the rest of my life, yeah. I would just rather. That's why I said I'd be fine not eating chocolate. This one's interesting. It says, "Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?" I don't know which one I would pick, because if you pick, go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. I'm sorry. You keep talking. I'm just getting hungry, so I'm like getting a little jittery.
Yeah, we got like a couple more, but because like if you choose never age physically, right? Like your body would stay the same. But presumably that means that you would mentally age. So like, would you get so old, like your brain gets so old that it starts to decay anyway, and then you just die looking young, but with like an old brain, you know? But like never age mentally, so like you would still have the same mental capacity, but your body would break down over time. Well,
I would assume though, like it's saying if you don't age physically at all, like I would assume that would include your brain, like just like,
I would normally
the consciousness of your brain would not develop though.
Under normal circumstances I would assume so, but like it's comparing, like if someone said you won't age physically, I would assume like the brain physically wouldn't age as well.
I think it means like the development though,
right? But like as soon as this is comparing physical and mentality, so like I think it's comparing brain function to like physical like form, you know.
And I don't think your brain.
Well, I don't think your brain would break down, like physically deteriorate. Excuse me. But like eventually, I think you would like just mentally be checked out of things, you know.
I think I would rather not age physically because I'm already stuck in the mentality of like a 13-year-old half the time. So.
Yeah, I'm fine with. I think I would choose physically as well. I think that'd be more interesting.
Plus, like, I feel like we're 25. I think 25 is a great age to stop aging. 25 to 30. Aging, I feel like if vampires were real, listen, I would love to be a vampire. If you're out there, hit me up. No, don't. Leave me alone.
Did you see?
That would probably invite a lot of weirdos. But like, I think I forgot my point.
Immortal people. Did you see the theory that that vampires used to exist as a smarter and stronger species, right? And every few centuries they would come back, once they had been like forgotten about as myth or legend, they would come back and trim down the population. But the theory is that because they were so smart, they would see differently than like humans, and they would see in, I think it was like one more dimension than us, or like one, they would see both vertically and horizontally. They could like, their vision was so great that they like saw a little bit differently than us, right? But because of that, someone was saying if they did see like that, then as soon as humans started building things vertically, like 90-degree angles instead of like archways and like domed huts and things, it messed with their vision so much that they couldn't like hunt people as efficiently. And they were saying that those right angles are what deters vampires. Someone goes, that's where we get the idea that you could hold up a cross and it would deter the vampire because they couldn't see you as well with the angles in front of you. And I thought that was interesting. I'm like, I don't know where you got this. I don't know where you got this theory from. He's just jumping in front of you.
She's like, give me attention, damn it.
Right. I was like, I don't know where you got this theory from, but it's an interesting one. I thought it was very interesting listening to it. I'm like, could be where you get crosses from. I don't know. You're just so distracted by this cat the whole recording.
I was getting a fluff on her thing.
Did she get in your lap? Crazy. You got real quiet, like you didn't want to scare her or something.
She said, I really want your attention, so I guess I'll sit here.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite vampire novel series, the Argeno vampires, that's kind of like not like the same, but the vampires in her world were humans from Atlantis who were like a really advanced society.
Oh yeah, Atlantis was real.
Did you just fart?
About. I told you, she farts all the time. It's crazy.
But they were like an advanced society that was messing around with nanoparticles to heal humans. And the way they found out to do it was by injecting people with these nanoparticles, and they would use blood to fuel anything that was wrong with you. But they didn't take into consideration like how much repair and maintenance the human body already does. Like there's always something to repair. There's always like a paper cut or like an illness or something, like aging.
Well, you're constantly replacing, skin cells and hair cells and all that. Like you're constantly, like your body's constantly doing things. So if you replace like oxygen, which fuels it now, with blood, you're going to need a lot of blood.
Yeah, so that's the story, is like all these people, they're super strong and amazing and fast and stuff, but they have to fuel themselves with blood or they'll just decay.
Right.
It's a good series. I haven't finished it because there's like 30 books. I read like through 20 of them. They're like cheap romance type novels, But it's good. I liked the lore behind it. Got it from my mom. The first one I read was like about this lady who cooks and this vampire like realizing she's like his fated mate or whatever, and they don't have the ability to taste food if they're not like with someone else. Like if you are not with your mate over time, you lose like the ability to enjoy life or food or anything. Like everything's bland and dull. So he meets his mate and she's a human woman who's a chef, so he pretends to be a famous chef to like try to get closer to her. And then it goes really poorly and he has to admit he's not a chef, but it's the one that got me into the series, so I really like it. But yeah, I don't know what else do we have to say.
We got time for probably one or two more if we're doing some more questions.
Make them some juicy ones.
Do you have any?
No,
that's fine.
Let me make up.
No, it's too late. I'm asking.
No, I want to do ones related to.
Then you can do the last one.
Hold on. Can I make up one?
No, I'm going to ask you one real quick because you're in a managerial position. So would you rather have as an employee, would you rather have Dwight Schrute or Homer Simpson as an employee?
Dwight.
You'd rather have Dwight because you'd actually get work
Dwight
done?
Yeah.
I think so. I think you would criticize a lot of people ordering at Starbucks, but I think it would actually be pretty funny to watch.
I think I would get along with Dwight, frankly. I think like he'd be like someone you could have fun with at work, and you'd be like, oh, thank God I don't live with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You found your little poof. Like grooming herself underneath there.
You said you're making one up?
Let me look one up.
Let me look one up. She said, hold on, hold my beer. I got to look this up real quick. Oh, man. It offered me a related article of wonderful pickup lines. And these are just like the best ever, obviously. Do you have a Band-Aid? Because I scraped my knee when I fell for you.
I'm like scratching my stomach.
You know what you would look really beautiful in? My arms.
Yes, I would.
I would never play hide and seek with you because someone like you is impossible to find.
You're impossible to find.
I'd suggest that we go to the movies, but they don't let you bring in your own snacks. These are just gold. You can have them for free.
All these questions suck that I'm looking up. Like one of them is like, would you rather go a week without brushing your teeth or a week without showering? Whoever wrote this question has never been depressed before.
Both is the correct answer. Thank you. Good night. Oh man. What is this one? What does it feel like to be the most gorgeous girl in the room? What if you're just like two people in there and they're best friends? You'd be like, haha, got him.
Like, I guess I don't have one if you want to do one last one.
I can't tell if that was an earthquake or if you just seriously rocked my world. That sounds like you could use that if you were trying to pick somebody up or if you just had sex,
I can tell you about something kind of embarrassing that happened to my teacher in 5th grade.
What a 90-degree shift. You keeping vampires away now. Story. Go ahead.
So when I was in 5th grade, my teacher was a very, very large woman. She was really nice. I liked her, but she was a very large woman. And one day when she went to go sit in her seat and she missed and fell on the ground, and it legitimately like shook the classroom. Like it made a sound and like shook the classroom. And we were in 5th grade, all these kids were like laughing at her. And I still remember, I had like secondhand embarrassment for her. Like, and I remember her face got really red and she like left the room for a while, but I just felt so bad for her. And that's what that question reminded me of.
Oh my gosh. You said, let me tell an embarrassing story with like the like little guys that it would be funny. And then you were just like, here's some dark truths that happened. Like she wasn't really a nice teacher. Way to just bring down the mood again. That one.
Oh,
like,
sorry.
That whole story was just like.
How about you tell another? You got to tell something else now, so it's not so like a bad ending. You can, like, get a funny story going. Make fun of me.
Make fun of you. It doesn't just happen, all right. It does. In your case, it just happens. But
yeah, I was about to say.
You can't force those kind of things, all right.
I'm a good person. I'm an easy person to make fun of. I'm odd. I know I'm odd. It's fine.
Oh, this category.
My therapist gets mad when I say that. She's like, I need you to explain. I'm like, I can't explain. I just do really fucking weird things. And like other people notice, you know, like.
This one is best pickup lines to use at a bar. Says, trust me, I'm not drunk. I'm just intoxicated by you.
I've thought about, like, you know how couples sometimes will meet up at bars and pretend they don't know each other? I thought about like doing that with you, but it makes me nervous.
It makes me nervous. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm trying to buy you a drink, but you're very distracting.
I like that one. I feel like that's one you would use on me.
I would say that to you if we're sitting in a bar. But you are very distracting. Like if the bartender was coming over and you're just still talking about, excuse me, ma'am, like I'm trying to buy you a drink, but you need to shut the heck up. Like, I'm trying here.
Oh my God. What was it? I made you watch Quest for Camelot yesterday. The girl would not shut up.
It was
watching childhood movies as an adult is different. And that guy was like you. I told you, I was like, this explains my taste in men.
That girl was so dumb. She didn't serve a lot of plot. Like all she did was be related to what her father, who inspired
Sir
that
Lancelot.
blind guy. No, Lionel. Come on now.
Sir Lionel.
She was related to Lionel, and Lionel taught the blind kid. That was the only reason the blind kid did what he did. The blind dude was the whole plot. Like without him, everything would have failed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that was the point. That's why Merlin sent the little
right, but no, I'm saying like without her there, eventually like the hawk could have just led him to the sword.
But he never would have gone there if it wasn't for her.
He's blind. He goes wherever the hawk tells him to go.
No, but he knows where the edge of the forest is.
Right, but the sword wasn't at the edge of the forest. The sword was in the forest. He just went over there. The hawk could have just led him to the sword, picked it up, and then Merlin could have met him at the edge of the forest. It's not like it's a huge like leap of faith. Also, Merlin knew where the sword was the whole time, and then Arthur asked, "Hey, have we found the sword yet?" And Merlin was like, "Nah, bitch, we gotta wait." Like, you know where the sword is. You have he controls the falcon that knows where the sword is. He knows where the sword is, but he's like, only the blind person can get through the forest. You could tell the blind person, like, you're Merlin. Just tell him to bring the sword to the edge of the forest, and then you go grab it real quick. It's not that big of a deal, you know?
All right.
Oh, here you go. Are you good at math?
No.
Me neither, but the only number I care about is yours. Got him.
Okay.
What is it, 3? Is that?
I'm ready to eat.
3 or 4? 4 is your number 4? 5?
Number 4. Did you ever watch Codename Kids Next Door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have. I think I have like an episode of that on my phone. I have like the crossover episode between Kids Next Door and was it The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy? They did like a crossover episode. It's pretty funny.
Did you ever watch Code Lyoko?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember much about it. It was a really weird show, but like it came on after Kids Next Door sometimes.
Excuse me, ma'am. You owe me a drink. Because when I saw you, I dropped mine. I feel like that's the one that's just okay.
Yeah. That'd be like a negging, like those guys that like go out and insult women to pick them up. Which I just gotta say, I don't know why. Like Like, if you're not interesting and good enough to get a date on your own, like, why are you going to go tear somebody else down?
You give her a riddle? Listen to this one. If I were to ask you out on a date, would your answer be the same as the answer to this question? You can think about it, but either way, we're going out. That's a good one. I like that one.
You said you were going to take me out today.
Yeah, that's why I asked you that question last. Wait a minute. I got to pay now? I don't enjoy this twist of fate.
Are you giving me money for the power bill?
The power? No. You didn't ask for money. You just told me here's what the power bill is. So that's going to be it for this episode because Ripley is getting hangry over there. She's asking for money. We got to go. It's like a whole time.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And when I get hungry, it's like maybe 15 to 20 minutes to like destruction.
Right. So we will be... That's going to do it for us this week. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy Mindless Prattle. This is our fourth episode.
Fourth episode?
Yeah, a whole month. I think we just hit like 20 downloads, which is great because my goal for the first month was 10. So like, thank you all for listening. Oh gosh, thank you all for listening in.
Sorry.
I hope you, you're good. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to keep enjoying it, download, listen to, do anything you want with the podcast. You can leave us a review on our website, give us feedback. Tell us what you think. If you like this new software better than the old one, we certainly do because it's a lot easier and it sounds a lot better on our end. But if you have any questions, concerns, comments, anything you just want to share, maybe you have a funny story that you want us to talk about on the podcast or something like that, you can go to mindlessprattle.com. There's a section to contact us. You can send us an email. You can leave a voice message. We'll get back to you or see it as soon as possible. Maybe reach out, see if we can talk about whatever you want on the podcast. Other than that, this will be episode 4. We're doing another episode next week. It may be late depending on my schedule because, like I said, I have to. I'm doing a whole lot this week. Essentially I am moving and starting a new job this week. So we will try and get the next episode out on the whatever date that is, the 15th. I looked at the wrong date, the 15th. But if not, we'll update it on Twitter and let you know what's going on with that as well. So that's going to do it for us this week. I hope y'all have fun.
Hold on. You said all the thank yous and you didn't let me say any thank yous.
You say yours last. I was going to say thank you and see you next week. And then it's your chance to talk. Go ahead.
I thought you were just going to end. I was worried.
No.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say thank you guys for listening too. Because when we started this podcast, I told Jordan, I was like, what if nobody listens? Like,
she was very worried about it.
I'm not always a funny person, okay? Like, I'm funny accidentally, but I'm not like I can't like intentionally be funny. It does not work. I don't have timing. It just don't. I'm an awkward person, and that's what makes me funny. So thank you guys for listening. It does mean a lot to me. And like he said, please send us stories because it's Mindless Prattle. We can talk about anything, and I like everything.
I like everything, right? All right.
Except broccoli.
Except broccoli. Fuck you and broccoli, all right? Get out of here with that. We're having broccoli soup for lunch. That's what's happening.
No.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm making it. My mom made broccoli soup the other day. She's like, I'm making broccoli soup. I was like, okay. Which I don't think she's ever made that before, so I thought it was kind of strange. But
that's all for
stop
today,
going off on tangents, you broccoli woman. All right, we gotta
go.
We gotta go.
Ooh, time to end the podcast.
All right, bye.
This is our outro song. Goodbye.